Hey everyone, this is Pastor Anthony Nix from Anderson Seventh-day Adventist Church coming at you again with another weekly devotional. We're going through the series of Bible studies called The Blueprint, God's GPS. You can get this series of Bible study by commenting below, and you can follow along with me as I study this myself and as I bring some excerpts on video. Remember, I can't cover everything on the video, so you have to study along with me. You can get it, Blueprint, God's GPS, by commenting below. I'll make that available to you. So we've come to the part to where now we're studying the first angel's message. That's our next study for this week. And basically, this is talking about how God's end time message begins to be revealed at the end of the 2300-year prophecy of Daniel 8 and 9. So Daniel 8 and 9 finishes with this 2300-year prophecy, and it shows us that at the end of this prophecy, at the end of the 2300-year prophecy, 1844, God was going to do two things. He was going to finish restoring the truth that Satan used the little horn to take away, the truth about the sanctuary, the truth about the Bible, the truth about the way to salvation. He was going to restore it by 1844, little by little, with different movements that were going to spring up. And then Jesus was going to start a time of judgment. Yes, a time of judgment. And we can see that in Daniel chapter 7, verses 9 through 13, where at this time, the Ancient of Days is seated, and Jesus comes, the Son of Man comes before the Ancient of Days, and the books are opened. Why? So that the angels in the whole universe can see the justice of God. Okay, so God allows the whole universe, all of the angels, to see if he's really just about kicking Satan out of heaven, about Satan being and lying to the world and saying that God was trying to impose himself and his laws upon us and that we would be happier doing what we want. God is going to open all the books. He's going to let the whole universe see that he is really just, to examine every situation and every decision that he has made. This all starts in 1844. And so realizing that that's the time that they were in, the people of God during the 1800s began to preach the second coming of Jesus. And they began to preach a series of messages that we find in Revelation chapter 14, verses 6 through 12. And the first verse is, and verse 6 and 7 is, "And I saw another angel flying in the midst of heaven, having the everlasting gospel to preach to every nation, kindred, tongue, and language, saying, Fear God, give glory to him, for the hour of his judgment is come. Worship him who created the heavens, the earth, the seas, and the fountains of water." This is the first angel's message. And so they began to preach this message. In that message, we see that there's a message of judgment. Fear God, give him glory, for the hour of his judgment has come. That judgment had come upon the world and is upon the world now, where God is investigating. He's looking at everyone's hearts. It's not just enough to say I'm a Christian, but do you act like a Christian? Do you act like a Christian in the confines of your home when nobody's looking? Do you act like a Christian when nobody but God is with you? All of these things are going to be explained open. But for the people of God, this is a judgment for them, to vindicate them. This is a judgment for the saved, is good news. You know how Jesus says when he comes back in the book of Matthew, and he says, "I'm coming back and I have my reward with me." Well, how does God find that reward? Through an investigative judgment before he comes. And so as we see that the church of God grabs hold of this message, they begin to preach it. And then there's another thing in the first angel's message. It's Jesus as creator. Jesus is creator. God is creator. Remember, it says in verse 7, "Worship him who made the heavens, the earth, and the seas, and the fountains of water." That's a direct quote from the fourth commandment in Exodus chapter 20. It's a direct quote that has the Sabbath in its context, the seventh-day Sabbath. So this people of God began to preach the first angel's message. Jesus is in his throne on his judgment seat. And he's looking and he's investigating. And he's also restoring the Sabbath truth that was in the most holy place in the sanctuary. Remember, the sanctuary is restored after the 2,300 years, and the people of God see a clear vision of the Sabbath and how it is important in the Christian's life. Guys, you got to study this. It's awesome. There's more information there. Just comment below. If you have prayer requests, you can also comment those prayer requests. We'll make sure that we address them in other services that we have. But until next week, God bless and take care.